Hi, I'm Jen Harrison from drjenniferharrison.com, and welcome to your Best Self Minute. Today's episode is actually inspired by Chapter 11 in my book called Why Failure is a Good Thing. So have you ever wondered what the Wright brothers, the co-creators of Chicken Soup for the Soul books, and Ellen DeGeneres all have in common? Well, you probably guessed it. Yes, they have all experienced failure on a grand scale. With the Wright brothers, they of course invented the airplane. And actually what they ended up doing before they even started working on their prototypes is that they studied the failures of everyone who had gone before them. Now, some of the people who were trying to invent airplanes at that time, this was in the early 1900s, late 1800s, had not only just failures in terms of crashing the plane prototypes that they had developed, but a lot of people died. It was pretty serious, these failures. And so the Wright brothers studied that before they worked on inventing their own plane. Now, they crashed a couple of gliders too before they finally invented the airplane that took off. And so just imagine if they had not persevered, if they hadn't studied the failure of those people who'd gone before them, let alone persevered through their own. We wouldn't be able to hop online and book a flight to our favorite vacation destination, and who knows, we might not even have space travel. So that's a wonderful example of how persevering through failure actually led to success. Now, with the Chicken Soup for the Soul, that was Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen developed the Chicken Soup for the Soul books back in the early to mid-90s. And they created these wonderful books of stories, inspirational stories, and started taking them to publishers. And they actually were rejected by over 140 publishers before somebody finally said yes. Over 140 times. I think it was 144 times. However, that single publisher who decided to take a chance on them changed the course of history. And to date, there's been over 500 million copies of Chicken Soup for the Soul books sold worldwide. So a great success, but that took a lot of perseverance and a lot of failure before they did achieve success, and of course changed the lives of millions of people around the world. And of course, Ellen DeGeneres, even though she's extremely successful today with her television program, when she started off, she went to university, but she dropped out after the first semester, and she did a lot of stand-up comedy, and before she finally landed her popular show in the 90s. But then after that was canceled, she had another show that only lasted one season, and it got canceled because of terrible ratings. And now, it would have been easy for her to have not persevered, to have decided to just give up and think that the work was too difficult to do. However, she persevered, and she worked through her failures, and started her daytime television show in 2003, which is to date still running. And she's been so positive and had such a positive influence and inspired, again, literally millions of people around the world. So typically, when we're kids, we're taught that failure is a bad thing. If you get less than 50%, on your math exam or your English test, that you failed, and that's a terrible thing. And it's interesting because over the years, there's been a shift, particularly in sports for young children, where regardless of whether they win or lose, everybody gets a medal, everybody gets a trophy, everybody gets a prize. And there's been a lot of conversation around that, particularly from psychologists, saying that that's actually not a helpful thing, that losing is actually part of what builds resilience and helps to prepare children for real life later on. So it's interesting how, it's important to reframe, and I've certainly done that. I've reframed what I consider to be failure. And so you can look at failure as just being a life lesson along the line. Anybody who you look at who you think is successful. So that could be a movie star, a musician. It could be somebody in business. It could be, a motivational speaker or coach. And you think, oh, wow, they're an overnight sensation. They've got, 1 million followers. They've got, they're making millions of dollars a year. Success must have come easily to them. Well, if you were to interview them, you would find out that no, success did not come easily to them. And a lot of people who we consider to be overnight sensations actually worked for years and years and years before they, got their big break or before their business actually took off. So I would invite you to take a look at some of the failures in your life and look at it from a new perspective, reframe it and go, what was the life lessons that I learned from that? What were some really valuable things? How did it make me stronger? How did it help me to help other people struggling with the same issue? So that's why I would like to say and invite you to look at that failure is actually a good thing. Now, if you found this video helpful, be sure to like it, share it with a friend who may need it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this one. For additional resources to help you go from your stressed self to your best self, head on over to my website, drjenniferharrison.com. It's free to join. You'll get 6 amazing bonuses when you do, plus access to over 100 articles and videos. Remember, making a positive change starts with one step in the right direction. Thanks for watching.